All right, so this is just going to be a quick little review on how to compare decimals. Okay, so I have this place value chart, and we'll use this for a couple, or at least for our first example. So I'm going to compare the number 0 and 248 thousandths. I'll highlight this here in purple. Let me get my pen tool. There we go. 0 and 248 thousandths, and I'm going to compare with 0 and 34 hundredths. Okay, so in 0 and 248 thousandths, I have 0 ones, I have 2 tenths, 4 hundredths, and 8 thousandths. And for 0 and 34 hundredths, let me use a light blue here. I have 0 ones, here I have 3 tenths, and 4 hundredths, okay? So when we're comparing decimals, we want to compare left to right. So in both numbers, in 0 and 248 thousandths and 0 and 34 hundredths, I have 0 ones, okay? So now I'm going to move to my tenth spot. And remember, okay, I'm going to start where my largest value. So I got ones, then my next largest value is my tens, hundredths, thousandths, and I keep getting smaller as I keep going to the right. So I'm going to go to my next largest place value that I have, tenths. So in 0 and 248 thousandths, here I only have 2 tenths, and here I have 3 tenths. So I can stop comparing. I know 3 tenths is larger than 2 tenths. So then, and I'll write it in white over here, I can say 0 and 34 hundredths is, that look like a 4 here, 0 and 34 hundredths is greater than 0 and 248 thousandths, okay? So when we're comparing decimals, we really just want to go our left all the way to our right here, okay? And to help me see this even more, remember I can append a trailing 0. None of my digits moved here when I appended this or attached this trailing 0 into my thousandths place. So now I can say 0 and 340 thousandths and compare it to 0 and 248 thousandths. And just by saying it with words, by appending that trailing 0, you can hear that 0 and 340 thousandths is definitely greater than 0 and 248 thousandths, okay? Let's compare, let's do another one here. Let's compare 0 and 248 thousandths to 0 and 24 hundredths, and let's compare them down here. So again, in 0 and 248 thousandths, I have 0 ones, I have 2 tenths, I have 4 hundredths, and I have 8 thousandths. And I'll put the other one in blue here. In 0 and 24 hundredths, I have 0 ones, 2 tenths, and 4 hundredths. So let's compare these, okay? Again, I have 0 ones. I'm going to start at my leftmost value, so I have both no holes. So let's go to my tenths. In 248 thousandths, I have 2 tenths. In 0 and 24 hundredths, I have 2 tenths. So they're equal so far. So now I need to go to my hundredths place. So sorry about that. So my hundredths place, I have 4 hundredths in 0 and 248 thousandths, and I have 4 hundredths in 0 and 24 hundredths, okay? So now let's go to my thousandths place. Well, in 0 and 248 thousandths, I have 8 thousandths, and in 0 and 24 hundredths, I don't have anything here. So I could just attach a placeholder there. I could attach a 0. Doesn't change my value. Nothing moved. So 0 and 240 thousandths is the same as 0 and 24 hundredths. So here I have 0 thousandths, and here I have 8 thousandths. So 8 is larger than 0, so I can say that 0 and 248 thousandths. So I can say that 0 and 248 thousandths is greater than 0 and 24 hundredths. So again, the key when we want to compare decimals is go left to right. So let me do one more thing here. Let's put these decimals in order from greatest, or from least to greatest, okay? So I'm going to go from least to greatest. Let me get black up here. Least to greatest. Okay, there we go. So let me look at all these decimals. So let me start in the ones place. So here I have 1 hole. The other ones don't even have a hole. So I know this is probably going to be my greatest decimal. So now let's compare all the ones that have 0 holes. So 0 holes, 0 holes, 0 holes, 0 holes. Now let me go to my tenths place. This one has 2 tenths, 2 tenths. Oh, that has 3 tenths. So this one has 2 tenths. So I still want the smallest one. So let me go to my hundredth spot. This has 5 hundredths. This only has 4 hundredths, and this one has 4 hundredths. Okay, so we'll narrow it down now between this one and this one. So they both have 4 hundredths. This one has 0 thousandths, and this one is 8 thousandths. So if you remember before, 248 thousandths is greater than 24 hundredths. So this is my smallest decimal. So I'm going to take that and put 0 and 24 hundredths. I'm going to get rid of that now, okay? And now I can say that 0 and 248 thousandths, that's my next smallest, okay? So now I need to compare 0 and 25 hundredths to 0 and 34 hundredths. Well, again, 0 wholes. This has 2 tenths. This has 3 tenths. So 0 and 25 hundredths is less than 0 and 34 hundredths. So that's my next smallest. And now let's compare 1 and 2 tenths to 0 and 34 hundredths. Well, this I have 1 whole. Here I have no whole, so 0 and 34 hundredths is my next smallest. And now 1 and 2 tenths is my largest decimal, okay? So again, the key is just making sure that you really look left to right as you're comparing your place values. Hope that helped.